Well, one of the things that we are trying to do right now, and I thought we started this last year, we're trying to get our basketball program back in Alabama at the level of where it used to be when we were going to the NCAA tournament. And some of the steps that we are trying to make right now, and we think that we started making last year, that we learned how to play hard. And I think we got to build on now, besides learning how to play hard, we got to learn how to play smart. I thought from a competitive standpoint, I thought that everybody that we played against, that we really competed and got some people's attention by competing as hard as we did. And now we got to start putting the things together to learn how to win. And I think that's the biggest mental problem we got to overcome, is to learn how to win. If you believe that you can win and you practice and work hard at it, and we're working really hard, but believing that you can get it done is something that we got to overcome.
Is it a little easier now going into year two, now that they know what to expect from you and your staff?
We're leaps and bounds ahead of where we were this time last year as far as practice is concerned. The effort that we're getting in practice, what players are understanding, and one of the things that is happening on our team right now, it happened even last night, we have players back from last year taking new players over to side goals before practice and talking to them about, hey, you got to learn how to do this if you want to play. This is the way we're going to play. This is the way we're going to execute. This is the effort that we need. And so and I think the biggest thing about that is we're getting a commitment from our players that are back from last year, and that's what we got to have. They got to take ownership in what we're trying to do, because it's always going to be my team and the assistant coach's team, so the coaches are going to always have that ownership. But what we need is ownership from the players, and we are seeing that coming from more and more of the returning players, helping the new players understand the commitment that they have got to give us to be a little better.
And how much do you see you guys being a contender this year?
Well, we still have some steps to go, but I think competitively we're going to go out and approach it and take one game at a time. And I've looked back and went back and looked over the film over last year in the SEC, and there were games that I think that if we believed that we could have won, and we believed in ourselves, that might have been 4 or 5 games that I think that we could have pulled out, and all of a sudden the record has changed by 4 or 5 games. We might have been in somebody's tournament last year.
Coach, talk about recruiting within the state and just how much talent there is here in Alabama.
The state of Alabama is supplying everybody else, a lot of other teams with a lot of good talent. And that's a good thing, and what we're trying to do is get our share this year and in the future and build our team with a core of Alabama players, because there's so many good players. I mean, I looked around in the SEC last year, and I think everybody had a player from Alabama on their team except for maybe 2 teams. And I thought, well, you got 9 other teams in the SEC with Alabama players on it, and we need to keep 3 or 4 of those players at home, and that's what we're going to try to do. And of course, Auburn proved that you can do a lot of things with Alabama players because of the success they had last year with basically, Alabama players.
Coach, how much do you get to pay attention to college football?
I love college football. Love it. So I pay a lot of attention to college football.
This is just kind of an off the wall. In your opinion, who should be the number 1 team in the country? If you had a vote, who should be number 1 in mine?
Alabama should be number 1. No, but really, I really enjoy college football and have kept up with it. And, the good thing about the way it's set up now, especially in the SEC, that SEC championship game will determine probably who's going to be playing for the national championship. So hopefully Alabama will be there, and whoever else they're playing.